All right, check this out. New York City's morgues are expected to hit their 900 body capacity in 7 days as it asks FEMA for emergency assistance, and the military set up refrigerated trucks outside Manhattan's Bellevue Hospital as the city's death toll nears 200. The first thing I'm going to say, take a look at these photos. So I guess these are FEMA emergency tents or something. They're trying to expand the capacity of these hospitals. And I don't get it, man. People are saying it's not real. Like on Twitter, they're like, I don't know anybody who's got it.
Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not real, people.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the famous quote from Kurt Cobain?
I don't know.
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you.
Yeah.
I like that.
But what's interesting too is over on the Donald Trump website, their like big forum, someone posted like, serious question, do you know anybody who has this? And all the comments are like, yes. Wow. Yes, I do. They're like my housekeeper, like my wife's sister or something, things like that. So yeah, what's crazy is how quickly these hospitals are filling up.
Yeah.
And we have a couple viral videos. Interestingly, this is not the video like from the New York Times, but this is showing clips from the New York Times. So the reason why you don't see any photos or videos from inside hospitals, the first big reason, nobody's thinking about filming anything. Like people are dying. Not only that, but the average person isn't going back into the ER. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but every hospital I've been to, like there's a lobby and you can't go anywhere unless they call you in and the doors are sealed, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
There you go. So maybe we should expect to see more filming in the lobby. But dude, I'll tell you something, man. If you're in the lobby of a hospital and you whip out your phone and start filming people, like, look at these people, like you're going to get hit.
Yeah.
You know?
That's not nice.
But I mean, someone's going to hit you. They're going to be like, yo, what are you doing? We're in a hospital, man.
Yeah.
And let alone going into it. But then there's also HIPAA. You can't, like, what does that stand for?
The Health Information Privacy Portability Act or something.
There you go.
I don't remember.
Yeah, the doctors can't do it. But we did get this doctor at, what was this, like Elmhurst Hospital in New York?
Yeah.
And she went around filming inside the hospital showing how bad it is. And it's pretty bad. And then she's basically saying, we don't have what we need. The governor is wrong. People are wearing trash bags.
Yeah.
Yup. Because it's getting bad.
Yeah,
and then we have this viral video. So this is Ian Miles Chong tweeted this out. He said, this is really hard to watch. Please keep telling me to stop. Please keep telling me to stop overreacting whenever I post about the coronavirus. And it's this video where I guess it's not going to play, whatever. But this like she's an RN, I think.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Registered
nurse. Yeah.
She's driving and she's saying that she just had her first shift and she's like, what is this? She's like, two people, like everyone's freaking out. They're rushing around. I'm left with these two people who are like on ventilators dying.
So she wasn't able to like be in touch with doctors because they're freaking slammed, and she was literally providing all of the cares for two people who are basically dying, both of them on ventilators, I think.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a lot of people,
man. Yeah,
critical mass, yo. We're reaching it soon.
I kind of feel like what more can, like, what do we do, you know? Because like here's the thing, man. What do we even talk about? What do we even say about this? It's just getting worse and worse every day. Do we say the same thing every day? Do we come on and be like, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. The world is ending again and it's worse than yesterday. Yes, you know.
That's the show.
That's the show for tonight. It was worse than it was.
Well, we were talking about it. We're going to watch The Hunt.
Yes, we're going to do something else.
We're going to watch The Hunt.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're going to review a movie tomorrow.
Yeah.
Switch things up a little bit.
Yeah, man.
You know, for me especially, it's like I wake up every day and I read all of this news.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I was like, man, we should do a new show and we could talk about other things. Then the world ends.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, man.
And everything stops working.
Boo. Terrible
timing. This.
Yeah.
But I wonder, you know, I'm not going to be afraid to talk about what I'm about to talk about because I know a lot of people would refuse to do it. But is there a positive that comes out of all of this?
There are many positives.
Well,
like
it feels like we're going to bring our manufacturing back to America.
That's good.
One of the positives.
That is a good thing. Yeah, let's listen to it. Let's make this a positive segment instead of just talking about hospitals being overrun with corpses.
I started a list on Twitter of positives of this, and I came up with a really long list. I need to go back and find it.
Did anybody get offended?
No, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, I thought of some."
Yeah,
like, yeah, man.
Manufacturing coming back is a good thing.
Yes. Spending time with your family is a good thing.
You know what I'm reminded of? That meme of the political compass where every quadrant gets what they want.
Yeah.
What was it? The authoritarian left is happy that the corporations are collapsing. The libertarian left is happy that the environment is healing. The libertarian right is happy that the governments are collapsing. And the authoritarian right is happy that borders are being closed. Everybody gets a little bit, right?
I think a lot of people are going to start growing their own food also.
Yeah,
I hope they do.
I think that's pretty huge. I mean, I've been saying it for years. Why do we have grass?
Right.
What is grass
seriously
good for? Rolling around in?
You know what but it's a default.
It. Yeah,
it's like
it was a like a standard. Like
yes, what's there?
It was who's who in the neighborhood has the nicest green grass.
Yeah. No, but where did that come from before that? Like, what's the root of this?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's because grass is just there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like I'm gonna build a house, and you build a house, and you're surrounded by grass, and then you're like the grass is too tall, so you cut a path, and then someone's the grass is grass an invasive species? Is that fair to say?
So
I don't know.
Probably the grass that we grow now, Kentucky bluegrass or whatever.
I'm having more fun talking about grass than I am talking about coronavirus.
Permaculture. We got
What is that?
It's growing your own stuff.
Yeah, we just started our garden
Recycling
today.
everything, learning how to live off the land again.
Yeah.
It's like we've lost that as humans. Like if everything just stopped working, as it kind of looks like it's going to stop working, everyone needs to learn how to handle their own stuff and grow their own stuff.
I had
it's really important.
I had an interesting idea for like a fantasy theme for like a game or something.
Okay.
Where I was imagining how we're centralizing all of these different industries.
Okay.
We've got major fracking hubs in like North Dakota area, oil pipelines and stuff like that. Then you've got, China producing all the rare earths. And I'm thinking like if it's cheaper to have a shipping like vessel with all these cargo containers, like so let me stop for a second. I'll explain. Skateboards.
Right.
How are they made? They chop a tree down in Canada, send the wood to China. The Chinese laborers turn it into a skateboard and send it back to California, and then it's sent over to the U.S. That's insane.
I know, it's crazy.
We have rock maples in America we can cut down,
right,
and sustainably harvest and then make skateboards out of,
or make bamboo boards.
Yeah.
Or even bamboo boards, which they do.
And they got a nice pop.
They do, but they flop out real quick. Like they don't last as long.
That's true. They don't last.
But
as long,
hey, I'll take a sustainable board if it's bamboo, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's where,
so anyway,
that's where my head's at.
I started thinking about this. Like, if we're seriously going to take our wood and send it to China to make a skateboard, what would the future of this reality look like in 100 years? And so I was thinking of a world where no one in the United States has any idea how to make anything electronic at all. Like if we went down this path. So you have regions that specialize specifically in one thing because it's cheaper.
True.
So it's like, you have a company that says we need an electronic, component manufactured, goes to China. And then China has these weird like states that are just like the entire culture is making phones, the entire culture is mining rare earths, the entire culture is
making
skateboards. Yeah, so that's like a future that doesn't make sense. And so now we're seeing everything kind of flip back. Like the pendulum just crashed into the wall and it's swinging back the other way.
Or got stuck there.
Yeah,
that's
just
what,
jammed
that's what
in the
feels
wall.
like. It just was like whoop.
Yeah.
And we're like waiting for it to continue back or something. But nope. We're just stuck here.
Just chilling.
I think we're going to have to start recognizing there's two ways out of this. We destroy the economy, which results in lots of people dying.
Yep.
Or we slowly go back to work, which results in lots of people dying.
Yeah.
Great options.
Is there a third? I'm not
There is not.
Yeah, which do we have less deaths with? What's going to be the better option? I feel like that would be the one wherever less people die.
There's nothing you can say because you'll get attacked no matter what.
Yeah, from both sides.
I can say very easily, I don't want people to die.
Yeah, you can say that.
Right.
Go ahead and try to attack
Yeah,
me for
so
that,
how are you going to prevent that? Are you going to prevent people committing suicide when they lose their job? Or are you going to prevent them from getting sick?
Let's
3 million new unemployment.
3.3.
3.3.
Let's not even talk about suicides. I'm talking about people who lose their homes, lose their food.
Right.
You don't have resources, you can't live.
Actually starve.
Yeah, they could actually starve.
I'm talking
and then
about
they catch coronavirus and they're not getting the nutrients. And then it's like, even if they were healthy, they don't even have the nutrients for their body to like create anything to fight it. It's like, it's a delicate situation we're in right now.
Yep. So Trump says the economy's got to get started. And here's what I've been thinking. He's a trade guy, right? Yeah. He's not a PhD economist or anything like that.
Right.
But he knows trade. So he's looking at this from a trade perspective. The doctors are looking from a health perspective, but neither understands each other. It is a fact. If the economy tanks, we don't get it back. And it will be worse. Because then without a working economy, there are no supplies. There is no technology. There is no cure. And then the coronavirus comes in right afterwards.
Yeah.
So what do? Do we open it back up and then just be like, well, then people are going to die?
Well, I mean, Fauci said it's cyclical. It's coming around. It's going to be, it's not going away. You know, the people that, I mean, it's
man?
It's spreading in the warm places of Earth where it's supposed to be summer, and they were like trying to see if it was like, well, maybe, the heat would kill it off.
Yeah, no,
but it's spreading.
It's not.
I think we're going to have to realize that we've grown our generation of degeneration into this position where we think death isn't a thing that happens.
Right.
There was a period, like we talked about this the other day, like I was talking about how I went to Glenn Beck's studio and he had this newspaper on the wall, all these old papers, and I was reading one where it was like a dude was outside of a bar smoking, and then some guy walked up and just blasted him in the chest, pulled out his pistol. But no, these things happen today. Go to Chicago, man. People pull out guns and they shoot it.
Yeah. So
I think, maybe we've come to a point where we've put ourselves in this bubble that's so secure. We're now like, we're going to burn ourselves down because we refuse to accept that, hey man, look, pandemics and viruses happen and they hurt people. We want to mitigate that for sure. Save as many lives as possible. But shutting down the entire economy, because now the U.S. has the most infected people on the planet.
Yeah.
It's like, 83,000. And if we kickstart the economy back up, that's going to jump. It's going to go nuts. And and what are they estimating? Like on the high end, 6 or 7 million dead.
Yeah.
Out of 327 million.
I have heard this number.
Yeah. On the low end, it's like 1.2.
It's at least 1 million.
That's insane.
Seems like whatever we do.
Like, you got to realize, man, 9/11 was, around 3,000 people. And that was a horrifying shock to this nation.
Yeah.
And now we're already at 1,000, which means in another week, this could be more deaths than 9/11. It's not the same, I understand, but in many ways, not every way, but it could be worse.
We don't really have a comparison anymore. The last thing like this that happened was 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And we have no frame of reference. Life's never been that hard for us.
Are we going to return to a pragmatic, stoic world?
Probably.
People are going to just be like, sometimes people die.
Yep.
Get back to work.
I mean, people are in their comfortable bubble and everybody's bubble's popping. We're realizing we're all humans that are susceptible no matter who you are. Doesn't matter who you are. You could be rich. Rich people are getting it.
They're mostly getting it.
Yeah.
Because they fly around all the time and they're more likely to be infected.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but there are homeless people getting it. There are young people getting it.
Yep.
We're hearing more and more stories about young people getting it.
Yeah, that's the point. Everyone is susceptible. Man. Everybody. We're all humans. We're all... whoever you are, your bubble, if you're comfortable and you think death can't catch you...
You are in a bubble.
Let me tell you something.
Well,
New York.
Yeah.
New York City had, or I think New York State, 100 deaths in the past 24 hours. So everybody's been saying the flu is worse. The flu is worse. All right. According to the CDC, from October to February, we had 12,000 deaths. That comes out to just about 4 deaths per hour in the U.S. New York alone in one day had 4 deaths per hour. That's just one state. So there we go. New York has just surpassed the national numbers for the low end estimate for the CDC on flu deaths. So it is going to get worse. And if we do open up the economy, then, well, what do you think is going to happen?
It's going to shoot up more.
It's going to be a wave.
I mean,
hospitals
they
will collapse.
keep saying that. Well, we're testing more now, so you're going to see a spike. Don't fear the spike. We're testing more.
Yeah, but our number of deaths are going up as well.
Yeah.
Right.
So is this just the end?
No.
Is
it's
there
not
any
the
way
end.
out of this?
I mean, what's the percentage of people it's killing? In
the U.S., actually low relative to the rest of the world.
Okay.
We got good hospitals, man. As much people, a lot of activists would argue we don't. I think it's around between 0.8 and 1.5.
So
I mean, you can look at the number right there.
The death percentage is low. So it's when you don't see it. When it's not in your face. You see all these numbers. And it's like we can talk about these numbers, but it's not tangible because I don't see it. And I don't know anybody who has it, so I'm not. It's hard to even talk about it. With such a solid statement on it because I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
the world.
It's definitely scary, and I know I'm scared, and I think that is kind of where everyone's at. Everyone's afraid. It doesn't matter who you are. It's like
to a certain degree.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Some people want to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
Sure.
There are a lot of jokers out there, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Laughing about it. Encouraging the worst.
They're gonna laugh about it until the person they love catches it.
Nah, there was a lady who went into a store and started and this is not too far from here, started coughing on all the produce. and they had to just dump it all. And she was like laughing, so that was funny. There are people licking toilets who think it's funny. There are people who are licking deodorant and think it's funny.
People are spitting on nurses and doctors when they go out in their scrubs. People are awful.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Where's that story at?
It's all over the place. It's happening in India. It's happening here in the U.S.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and like doctors are getting kicked out of their houses because
they are being evicted. Yeah, and there was that paramedic who was evicted in the U.K. by his landlady who texted him because she didn't want coronavirus.
Man, I'll tell you what, man. This morning when I was looking at the news, when I was listening to the bickering between the political parties, I have never been more pessimistic about our chances here. Never. Do you know what happened in Venezuela?
When? What are you
Just
talking
like
about?
over the past several years.
No, I don't know.
We got to print more money and give that. So they have a bunch of unemployment, right? And they think they can just print money to buy their way out of their problems.
In Venezuela?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this happens in socialist countries because it doesn't work. They start dumping money, and then all of a sudden, I went to Venezuela, man. I had stacks of cash, and it was like this big. We had a garbage bag full of Venezuelan bills. It's called the Bolivar, I think it was, and you couldn't do anything with it. Like this big bag of like, I think I had 100 at the time. This is crazy too. At the time when I went, a stack like this big was $100. The equivalent.
Okay.
And so I brought it back and I'm like, boom, on a table. I'm like, bling, bling. And we all started laughing because it's like, it's worthless.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was like worth shy of $100. Okay, it's got value, but like this massive stack of cash. And so they were like, what are we going to do with this? Nobody wants anything from Venezuela. And it's because they just started printing money.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing right now.
That's what the stimulus package is, right?
Print money. What are we at? Like $6 trillion now? The debt was already really high. And now they're printing all this money. We're going to see, I'm worried we're going to see runaway inflation.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that as well.
Yep. So let's do this. Let's take a look at, let's see if we got this. All right, check this out. The cost of household staples, milk, eggs, and bread skyrocketed by up to 30% as panic buying leaves retailers grappling with supply shortages. I'm going to come back to this, but we have this story from the New York Times, frequently asked questions on stimulus checks, unemployment, and the coronavirus bill. In the short term, I have good news. Apparently, according to the New York Times, you don't got to do anything. You're just going to get a check. It's going to show up.
Oh, they're not making us pay it back?
No, it's a stimulus, meaning they just give you the money.
Okay.
So when it comes to the stimulus, what they basically say is that you don't even have to, let me see if I can pull this up. Would I have to apply to receive payment? No. If the Internal Revenue Service already has your bank account information, it would transfer the money to you via direct deposit based on the recent income tax figures it already has. So if you already filed your taxes for this year, it'll use 2019. If you haven't, it'll use 2018. You're just going to wake up one day with money in the bank. That's good in the short term, right? You can go to the store, you can order on Amazon, you can get what you need to get. Here's a problem, man. This solves nothing.
Agreed.
And I got no beef with the people trying to do the stimulus. But all the restaurants and all the retail shops that are out of business right now, that are shut down or furloughed or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, a stimulus isn't going to put anything into that.
And what about rent? My rent was $1,200 a month in New York. It's like,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
It's a Band-Aid.
So
no, it's
enough to pay rent.
No, listen,
and
man.
then nothing else.
It's barely a Band-Aid.
It's not. It's not even a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
This the short term.
It's a kiss on the boo-boo.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
It'll feel better
pathetic
soon.
look.
No, but there's nothing they can do.
Anything.
There's nothing they can do. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying this as beef to the Republicans and the Democrats, because I've been critical of the Democrats holding it up for a bit. The Republicans then held it up for certain provisions. So we'll see a little back and forth. But the reality is, if the business is shut down, where do you spend the money anyway?
Yeah.
There was this really sad post I saw. A family pizza shop. They said, I'm sorry, after 40 years, we are officially out of business. Because these businesses are operating on very slim margins.
Yeah.
I think they're like only a few percentage points. It was a small pizza shop that was not, super wealthy. They closed. Those jobs are gone.
This is why it bothers me to see people say, oh, it's just big corporations.
Right.
Help the little dude.
I mean, but even the big corporations, I get it, man. Boeing has a lot of employees. They have like 70,000 or whatever.
They have thousands of employees.
It's not even that. The airlines are basically operating at like no capacity. They're essentially shutting down. No one's traveling anyway. Congratulations. You're going to get $1,200. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to buy? Milk, bread, and eggs, I guess.
I'm sure online shops have shot through the roof, though.
Online shops?
Yeah, Everyone has internet still.
There's stuff to buy.
And FedEx and UPS are essential, so they're still running. They're still, people are doing their shopping online.
But what portion?
Which is what they've done anyway.
But what portion of the economy is like local bars and restaurants and retail shops? A lot. Massive portion.
That's true.
Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid,
Yeah.
Dwayne Reed, nothing. No more cash flow.
Well, I mean, if this is seriously the way it's going to be, like, humanity will look a lot different in about a year.
We will adjust, but it's going to be weird.
I think no matter what anyone tries to do, we are going, like, you're right. It's going to be a dramatic transformation.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be fine.
And you know what you said yesterday, I think? We're going to see technological advances like we've never seen.
Well, methodological advances.
It's going to happen.
So the way I'd explain it is we're going to see an application of technology not seen before.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's that we see a lot more of is the application of drive-thrus for even medical testing.
Right.
So now I saw reporting that Walgreens, for instance, you can pull up to Walgreens at the pharmacy drive-thru and say, milk, bread, and eggs, please. And they'll be like, here you are, sir. Why can't we do that now?
That's a good question.
And that's a methodology, not a technology, but using a mobile app.
Yeah.
You can go on your phone and do milk, bread, eggs, boop, and then they can see on the app where you are. And then they see you pulling up and they grab the stuff and they go to the window and you pull up and they say,
yeah, that's true. In one of your videos earlier, you said like you were talking about shops are still staying open because you can actually call them and be like, I would like to purchase this, please. And they walk out and give it to you.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
But think about how like Uber works.
Okay.
You press the app and then you're looking and you're watching the little car come to you and you're like, and they're outside. And then you know to go outside because you see them pulling up. The inverse is true for curbside delivery. You go on the Best Buy app and you're going to be like, I need to buy this here laptop for work. And then you pull up and right before you get there, they see you pulling up on the street, just like you would see the driver. And they say, oh, he's pulling up. Okay, great. And then they walk outside. And right when you pull up, they walk outside. Here you are, Mr. Krigler. And you wave and you turn around and you're gone.
The future is here.
Yeah, I mean.
So, but these are interesting changes. I'm talking about like, well, we were just watching that Rick and Morty episode where they're in like the Mad Max world.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like Mad Max changes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, didn't you say something, I think yesterday, UPS is designing drones that fly 160 miles an hour and are wind resistant.
Yep.
And obviously to deliver packages, I'm assuming.
All right, man. We need two things right now. We need Boston Dynamics, right? These are the guys who make those robots that are like people.
Crazy waves.
I demand massive government funding. All right. Full on communist. No, I'm kidding. But I want them to develop that to the point where they can be fully autonomous. They can operate for 16 hours. And then we need Neuralink. And then we create the world of surrogates where we have like an avatar version of ourselves.
I almost watched that movie the other day. I got to watch it. I'll watch it.
I thought it was a fun movie. I like it. It's interesting. How cool would it be, like a Ghost in the Shell kind of world, where you have like this crazy robot body? You could go skating and you wouldn't care because you're damaging your, avatar instead of.
It wouldn't be the same. I want to feel the pain.
Right. You want to feel, but you'd feel the rush. It'd be in,
I slammed my arm today. Like I got a huge knot right here, and it feels so good.
Right.
Because 10 minutes afterwards, I landed the trick that I was trying to land. And I was like, yes, this is the pain that I earned this pain.
Yes.
But I'll throw this out there, like, slamming feels good.
It does.
It does. Like,
I know. That's what I'm talking about.
It hurts, and you're like, oh, it hurts. And
it hurts so like, good.
Yeah. I think that's a high T thing, as opposed to the low T guys.
I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
It hurts. I hate shinners. I hate whacking my ankles.
I do too, yeah.
But like,
but it feels so good.
It converts into, I don't want to call it anger.
It's fuel.
But it is kind of anger.
Yes.
But it is sort of like motivational fuel. Like, there's no one to be angry at.
Right.
But
what are you going to be mad at the board?
Yes.
People do that.
I know.
And then they smash the boards.
And they throw the board and it's like, he didn't do anything.
But let's
They,
she.
yeah, she.
All right,
My board's a he, so.
Will there be skateboards in the new world?
I hope
it's a
so.
Definitely.
It's a luxury item.
Absolutely.
Make
It's a
your
luxury
own.
item, man.
I mean, the skateboards were made on, like in the backyards of people who couldn't surf. And they scrambled them all together to surf on the roads. So it's like, sure, it's not necessity, but it'll be a thing.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. If you want to catch the full show, tune in to this channel, subscribe, hit the like button, or check us out on iTunes and Spotify, and we will soon have this podcast up for free on all podcast platforms. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next episode.